It's officially been a year since I put my Japanese studies on hold to focus on other languages like Greek and Italian. But you know, the fact that my Japanese is on hold shouldn't be a reason to gatekeep some great resources from you to help grow your Japanese. What to expect from this video? Some pretty cool stuff, honestly, like free graded readers, free textbooks, and an online course. Also a tool to help you read Japanese texts, an awesome app to learn kanji using spaced repetition, and some more stuff. Let's start with graded readers because as someone who likes to start reading as early as possible, I love those. For a while, I used to use these graded readers from Tadoku, which I ordered from Japan, but I will admit that they're quite pricey, especially if you also have to pay for shipping, which probably most people do. So here are some great free alternatives that I found as enjoyable and helpful. The first one is the tadoku.org website. Here you'll find stories for different levels, including level 0, completely for free. They also have a pretty robust search that you can use to filter materials by level, genre, audio or no audio, kanji or no kanji, Hiragana, YouTube version, and so on. Besides Tadoku, other options would be famous Japanese works of fiction rewritten for Japanese learners from this website that I'm going to link in the description, and also texts about Japanese culture, geography, history, etc. on yomu.jp that are divided by levels, including N6, aka starter level. And every article that I have read there also has an audio version, so you can practice both reading and listening. There's a couple of other websites with free graded readers that I will leave the links to in the description so as not to make this video too long. But if reading is something you're interested in, definitely do check them out. Now let's move on to kana. If you want to practice actually writing it by hand, one way to do it is to download free practice sheets. You can print them out or you can practice on a tablet if you have one. But arguably, what's more important than being able to write the characters is being able to recognize them. But whatever you prefer, look no further than the Fugu. They have guides for both hiragana and katakana that also have mnemonics to help you remember them, which I personally don't really find all that useful, but they also have a free book to practice your writing and a free quiz to help you memorize kana. So I think overall it's a great resource, but what I found the most useful when it comes to memorizing hiragana and katakana is basically apps. And even though the apps that I used are not free, they're extremely inexpensive and they only require a one-time payment. At least that's how it was when I was using them. And the ones that I used are called Robokana and Pastel Kana. And yeah, just like I said, I feel like learning kana with apps and then practicing them with actual text worked best for me. So I'll leave the links to those apps in the description. Okay, now kanji. Honestly, there's so many methods and websites and apps out there, but one you probably haven't heard of yet is Mochi Mochi. Mochi Mochi is an app that teaches you thousands of Japanese words using the spaced repetition method. And it's also the sponsor of today's video. On Mochi Mochi, you'll find words for JLPT levels N5, 2, and 2, plus specialized courses like vocabulary for nurses, or service industry workers, or conversational Japanese. What I like about the app is that you are learning kanji in the context of actual words instead of just memorizing different readings of the same character. For every word, you will get a card with kanji, with hiragana, translation to English, audio so that you know exactly how a word is pronounced, and an image to make it easier for you to remember. And also an example sentence, so you can see how those words can be used in context. But the nicest thing about Mochi Mochi is its golden time feature, which basically means that the app schedules your learning sessions for you. Mochi Mochi uses the combination of spaced repetition and your own learning history to prompt you to review vocabulary right before you forget it.
Mochi Mochi!
Basically, the app removes the burden of tracking when to review what. All you have to do is learn new words and wait for Mochi Mochi to tell you when it's time to review them. All of the words you are learning will also be categorized by levels based on how well you remember them. where 1 is for words you have just learned, and 5 is for those that are now stored in your long-term memory. If you follow Mochi Mochi's program and don't miss your learning or review sessions, you'll be able to master 1,000 words in a month by studying about 30 to 45 minutes a day, which makes this method really good for those with bigger goals or those who are preparing for an exam. I think while I was talking about Mochi Mochi, you already had a chance to see how cute the app is. And I feel like learning kanji can sometimes feel tedious, but Mochi Mochi's design really makes the process more fun. The app is available on both iOS and Android, and I will leave a link in the description for you to try it out. Like literally hundreds of thousands of Japanese learners, I used the super popular Genki and Minna no Nihongo textbooks, but I feel like everyone and their mother knows about those at this point, so today I wanted to talk about Irodori, free textbooks for A1 and A2 learners. The Irodori materials were developed by the Japan Foundation, and they include 3 textbooks with audio plus an interactive online course. The textbooks are actually designed for migrant workers, so they cover vocabulary and grammar that is necessary for living in Japan. And depending on what your mother tongue is, you might be able to find a version of the textbook in your language. You can also download useful extra materials, including answer keys, vocabulary lists, pages from the textbooks grouped by topic, for example, only grammar explanations or only kanji, all on the same website and all for free. But that's not it. Like I said, there's also a completely free interactive course that you can take. And just like with the book, there are 2 levels, A1 and A2. And upon completion, you can take a test and receive a certificate, which is not bad at all. But another great resource for beginners when it comes to textbooks is Dr. Wes Robertson's website, where he shares materials that he himself creates. Again, completely for free. Right now he has 2 books for beginners, I think, and according to his Twitter, he's working on another textbook that will cover slightly more advanced topics. Besides explaining grammar and vocabulary, the books also have culture notes, there's exercises to practice what you've learned, and there's even vocab decks for the book. Once you're ready to read something more challenging, you might want to consider a tool like Japanese.io. Basically, it's an interactive website for reading documents like articles, books, manga in Japanese. Here, by clicking on the word in the text, you will see Hiragana, you will see translation, conjugation, kanji, and usage examples. All of the words that you look up will be added to your saved list, so you can return to them whenever you need to. The website already has news articles, manga, and books, but you can also add your own text. Materials here are filtered by difficulty level, and there's also a Chrome extension which allows you to use the dictionary and other tools on external websites. All of those features are available for free, but for about $10 a month, I think, you will also get pitch accent for words, text-to-speech translation, text recognition from images and PDFs, sentence-by-sentence translation, and some other features. The subscription is kind of pricey, especially if you're paying for other stuff, and I also think that not everything that is included in it will be relevant for everyone. But I would definitely recommend at least trying the free version. You might know a channel called Bite Size Japanese on YouTube, but did you know that its host also has a podcast? And at this point, she has over 300 episodes where she talks about different topics in Japanese, speaking slowly and giving explanations where needed. There's also subtitles for her videos on YouTube, but if you need access to transcripts, you can find those on her Patreon. And another YouTube channel that I found really useful is Speak Japanese Naturally. It's a channel where you'll find a little bit of everything: grammar videos, listening practice, pronunciation, vocabulary, etc. But I especially appreciate it for the series of videos on Japanese pitch accent. And that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thanks again to Mochi Mochi for sponsoring it. Don't forget to check out the app if learning kanji is something you're interested in, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!